Welcome everyone, my name is Nepti, an Asmodean chanter from the Tiamat server. Today, I'll be showing you everything you need to know about Drakenspire depths and how to take on Dragon Lord Beritra. Unlike other instances, your alliance composition needs to be pretty specific. You'll need one group comprised of physical damage dealers with a support, for example, a Templar to tank, a chanter for support, a cleric for healing, and the last three spots can have assassins, rangers, or gladiators. Keep in mind, having too many leather classes can make the group very squishy and hard to heal, so lean towards gladiators if you can. Your second group needs to be made up of magic damage dealers, with a DPS cleric and magic support included. Having lots of great crowd control from a Spirit Master is a big plus here. Required classes for this group will be a healing cleric, a DPS cleric, and a song weaver. Fill the rest of the group up with a Spirit Master, sorcerers, an Aether Tech, or a gunslinger. As I said before, song weavers are pretty much required, needed in this instance, and for reasons I'll explain later, the song weaver should be using support stigmas, and absolutely must have Chorus of Blessing.
Here are some recommended quote-unquote minimum stats. If you're a cleric or chanter, you should use an HP armor set that'll give you at least 18,000 HP with chanter buffs. For magic classes, you'll want at least 2,100 magical accuracy and 3,800 or more magic boost. For physical classes, you'll need at least 3,100 accuracy when buffed, and lots of crit strike, 1,200 or higher when fully buffed. When you enter the instance and everyone is prepared to move, you'll notice the main path immediately splits. Each of these paths will lead to small circular arenas with two twin bosses, Lava Protector and Heat Vent Protector. The physical group will split off to go fight the Heat Vent Protector, while the magic group will take on the Lava Protector. When each of the bosses are engaged, they'll gain a buff that will resurrect them 15 seconds after dying, as long as the other boss is still alive. This means that both groups will have to defeat each boss within 15 seconds of each other. For the most part, both bosses attack with line-of-sight, conal-shaped AoEs, so to avoid damage, just stand behind the boss and you'll be okay. The reason the magic group handles the Lava Protector is because of the unique buff it has, Binding Curse. This means that whenever somebody deals physical damage, they become bound. Similarly, the Heat Vent Protector has a buff that silences anyone that hits it with magic damage. There are two skills during this fight to really watch out for. The first applies only to the Heat Vent Protector in the melee group. It's a skill called Sweltering Heat Bind. It deals a little bit of damage and will root everyone within about a 7-meter radius around the boss. If this debuff isn't removed within a few seconds, the follow-up skill the boss uses will deal massive damage, almost certainly killing anyone who wasn't freed from the root already. The second attack to note is called Raging Hellfire, an attack both bosses will use. It will hit everybody inside the small circular arena, taking away half of the group's HP and MP. If you're a healer, definitely have a recovery serum or AP mana pot ready to go after getting hit. Throughout the fight, both bosses will occasionally spawn adds. The magic group can CC them by sleep, fear, or root, and after a while they'll eventually just despawn. The melee group has no crowd control really, so they'll have to reactively switch targets and kill the adds when they spawn. After carefully DPSing alongside your other group, finish off each boss within 15 seconds of each other in order to move on to the next area. The next area of the depths is a catacombs kind of area, filled with lots of skeletons and undead. Before you start pulling mobs, take a look at this. There are some mobs in Hide, a perfect trap for the uninformed Deva. These mobs should be pulled very carefully. The mini-boss for this area is Fetid Phantom Scorch Chimera, who's an easy kill if your group is still exercising caution. The boss has only one dangerous skill, Explosion of Wrath. It's an area of effect Splash Fear off the mini-boss's target, so make sure everyone, especially the person targeted by the attack, is below the boss when this skill goes off. After defeating the mini-boss, it'll drop a key used to unlock a door up ahead. When you reach the door, open it, but don't go in. You'll see the boss and 3 groups of 3 mobs. Hopefully, there will be exploding flames among the groups of mobs. The flames may or may not spawn, there could be up to 3. All you have to do is have a ranged attacker hit the exploding flame once, and it will instantly wipe out the 3 surrounding mobs. The boss of this area is Rapacious Cadena. Nothing special about this boss, just a couple AoEs. Tank and spank until it's dead. Orison has two modes, vulnerable and invulnerable. He'll keep switching between these modes. In order to force Beritra into his dragon form during the final fight, you must defeat Orison during or before his second period of vulnerability is finished, which is 3 minutes and 48 seconds. The arena for this fight is circular. To avoid Orison's special attacks, which deal very high damage, take this formation upon entering the ring. You'll see why in a second. Orison's first attack is called Frigid Gate. First, Orison summons 4 crystals in fixed locations. Next, he uses Frigid Gate, a line-of-sight ice blast 4 times, once in the direction of each crystal. Not only does he fire these ice blasts, which deal about 12,000 damage, when a crystal is hit by Frigid Gate, it explodes, firing a cone-shaped ice blast back in Orison's direction. This is the reason it's so important for the tank to keep Orison at the spot marked on the map shown a few seconds ago. If he's in that position when he fires Frigid Gates at the crystals, it creates some small safe zones your group can stand in to avoid taking damage. Orison's other trick is a skill called Summon Freezing Crystal. After a short delay, lots of frigid crystals will pop up. A short while after the crystals spawn, Orison will detonate them, dealing massive damage to anyone caught in the blast. To avoid taking damage, just have everybody destroy the nearest crystal and stack on top of the spot where it was. If you remember the fight with good old Chief Cunner Koa from the Steel Rake, avoiding damage from this attack should be a breeze. When Orison is down to about 30% HP, you should get ready to stop DPSing. You'll hear a kind of system notice sound effect, after which Orison will put on a 5-second damage reflecting buff called Erishkigal's Protection. It's only 5 seconds, so wait it out and then keep on bringing the damage. After defeating Orison, ride the windstream into the next area. This part of the instance is a kind of tower defense. Every so often, waves of elites plus 1 legendary mob will spawn from the left, which is where you entered this area from. The fighter mob leading the first wave has no real tricks, just some area of effect damage and a good amount of HP and defense. Leading wave 2 is a legendary mage mob. Try to keep this one as far from the center as possible, as its wide area curse of roots can incapacitate a large number of your allies for long periods of time. The ranger legendary mob should be killed immediately. Wave 4 is led by a legendary cleric mob. Like all clerics, it will heal its allies, so focus it first and focus it fast. After the first 4 legendary mobs have been taken down, another wave will spawn, but without a commander. After a few seconds, the final legendary, and boss for this area, will spawn in the middle of the area, right in front of your ally NPCs in siege weapon. Its name is Commander Vertra, and he should be pulled by the Templar far into one of the side lanes due to his powerful skill, an AoE shield or bodyguard for all mobs within a certain radius of Vertra. And finally, after all other mobs are gone, finish off the commander and get ready to face Beritra. Before you face Beritra, you should switch some people in your alliance to make sure each group has either 1 Songweaver or 2 clerics. It will need to be like this in order to deal with a very dangerous skill Beritra has up his sleeve. Once you're inside, have a tank move first and take Beritra to the 12 o'clock position in the main circular arena. Healers should also stay inside the circle in order to heal and dispel the tank and each other. All the DPS classes should jump over the fences to the surrounding platforms and wait. Fighting Beritra can be very chaotic and scattered. Here's a list of important skills to watch out for. Soul Extinction Field. After casting Soul Extinction Field, a few blue electrical fields will spawn over 2 or 3 of your allies, and after a very brief delay, these fields will explode, dealing very high and often fatal damage. Chains of Command. If I were to rate this skill in terms of how dangerous it is on a scale of 1 to 5, it would probably be a 6, maybe a 7. Whoever is hit by it essentially has their faction temporarily changed to Balar. This means that people affected cannot be healed by allies and are even able to do damage to their allies. Getting rid of Chains of Command requires 2 non-targeted dispels. For the group that has 2 clerics, 2 casts of Splendor of Purification will do the trick. For the group that has a Songweaver, Chorus of Blessing will get the affected people back on your side. Dimensional Wave. During the first half of the cast, half of the center arena will be covered in black, dealing about 11,000 damage to players standing there after a brief delay. For the second half of the cast, the opposite side of the central area will deal another 11,000 damage to whoever is standing there shortly after it appears. From the start of the fight, you'll see 3 buffs protecting Beritra. These buffs can be removed in a very unique way, by defeating the seal protectors and using their power to take away Beritra's buffs. Every 60 to 90 seconds, a system message and sound will appear, signaling that a seal protector has spawned. It can spawn on any of the 6 outer platforms. After locating where it appeared, the group closest goes and takes it down. After defeating the seal protector, the first person that damaged the seal protector will be given the seal mark debuff. After 15 seconds, the seal mark will explode, so when the seal mark is placed on an ally, maneuver carefully over to Beritra and hit him with a blast. Adds will spawn in the central area multiple times under certain conditions. When a seal protector appears, a single ad spawns that will attack and pull whoever it targets. 3 green ads will spawn after removing both Beritra's first and second buffs. There are 2 general purpose ways of dealing with these ads. Either have a Templar round them up and jump over the edge in order to despawn them, or have magic classes root or sleep them until they despawn. After using the power of the seal marks to get rid of all 3 of human form Beritra's buffs, he will hit your entire alliance with an unavoidable soul plunder and assume his dragon form. Shortly after assuming his dragon form, Beritra will start pelting your alliance with lots of high damage AoE nukes. Clerics, this is your time to be the hero. During this fight, seal protectors will spawn 3 to 4 times. Take care of them swiftly and efficiently to remove Beritra's buffs, and the fight is yours.
This is it. Go, go, go. DPS harder, 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 harder.
Thanks for watching my guide. Remember, stay focused and fight hard.
Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Holy.
Oh my god! Oh my god, guys, I love it.